The on-the-spot inspection of the Stella Obasanjo Hospital afforded Governor Okpebholo, accompanied by top government officials, an opportunity to obtain first-hand information on the state of the secondary health facility. The governor, after inspecting the facility, expressed displeasure over the inauguration of what he described as uncompleted projects by the immediate past administration. He described the move as a disservice to Edo people and promised to complete the project before December to render quality health care to Edo people.
Hospital, we see for ourselves. Yes, a lot of work has been done, but we have so much to do. The administrative block is not completed at all. Then installations are not done. The theater is not done. So a lot. I don't even know why they commissioned this place, if we have to say the truth. But now we would do our best to see that within short time, between now and Christmas, this place should be activated.
Edo State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Cyril Oshomole, who conducted the governor around the Stella Obasanjo Hospital, disclosed that the hospital was barely 60% completed before inauguration, out that many of the hospital beds were old and recycled.
It was about 60% completion. We have a lot of work to do. Some of the beds we saw, they are old beds from the old, recycled from the old hospitals. So HE promised that he's going to keep it up to 100%.
At the Edo State Education Hub at Yaro, the governor expressed similar disappointment, noting that the haste to inaugurate the complex by the previous administration was misleading. He promised that his administration, in weeks to come, will take inventory of facilities and mobilize contractors to make the education hub functional. Contractor handling the project, George Boom Maroon, explained that the complex is designed to centralize all educational activities in the state, housing offices of the Ministry of Education, SUBEB, Library Board, Auditorium, Staff Restaurant, and other administrative units. Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Albert Obaze, the crack team boss, the boss of the crack team. See, let me tell you, guys, you know, see this ITV report here, now be the best report where ITV don't do, maybe in the last 3 months. For Okpebholo mind into this one, to ridicule the matter, the greatest, the number one, the performer, the moving encyclopedia, the technocrat governor. It say him do want to take, but he rubbish himself and the administration for this video. Okpebholo because he's black. Okpebholo because he's clueless. Okpebholo forget say he don't go this Stella Obasanjo and this Edo education hub where Obaseki built for Yaro. The man is black. He doesn't have a retentive memory. I say waka come inside motor today. Everything where you go do for Stella Obasanjo and this education hub, he don't forget. He say for Stella Obasanjo, say a lot of work has been done here. He don't know what he talk about. That was not part of the script when they give him, when they healer give him. Say, okay, how can you say that? He forgets that the Stella Obasanjo was commissioned by a former president, General Olusegun Obasanjo. Everything functioning. These rascals, this gang, these hoodlums, they came and they started looting. I'm not surprised if they've told Oshomole's son Siri to go park what he did there, go load down for one warehouse. Then they'll call, remove money, bring the things back. Like I said, they buy new equipment. Government way Janet and chairman. No, Janet. Me, I can't hire Janet to be my gate man. I'm not gonna feel this safe. Because the Janet could call the government. People will almost like drive very far. Very far. If not doing Obaseki, maybe Obaseki for your pity Jarrett. Give him a contract, may go carry answer boys, clear gutter. And that kind of government, you want me pull like stick serious. But what many of you are not to understand for this video to say, Okpebholo, they listen to us. We don't choke him. We don't choke him. He can't breathe. As we speak, the man never lay one foundation. Apart from renovating some secondary and primary schools, he never feel put one better structure for ground. It's on a state where we say this first 1 year of Okpebholo, over 789 billion in the history of Edo State. No governor not get that kind of money for budget. They are just busy stealing. Now, I want to say, before I bring in Mr. Crusoe, I will really talk today. Me don't tire. Mr. Crusoe need to talk to us today. First, I want to appreciate those all over the world that are putting this Okpebholo clueless government on its toes. You understand today? He's confused. Like I told somebody some days ago, I say, if they give Okpebholo, okay, don't work, don't do anything. Use these first 4 years to destroy Obaseki work. You know, fits. Work to plenty. Where you want to start from, he has destroyed the roads deliberately. He don't deliberately destroy the roads, thinking say now Obaseki will punish. But now people are beginning to say River Okpebholo, Edo is sinking under Okpebholo, River Okpebholo, River. Now they're not trying to say and the former government, okay. Government is continuous. In case you don't know, Okpebholo is a failure. It cannot give what it doesn't have. It's a stooge, it's a puppet. Why is it people like Loretta quickly run enter the government? Because they also say, oh boy, it's not a dead government, it's not a legbere government. It's not a gapagebe government, legbere. Osipopo, and they run enter the government. When they see what they feel grab. Today, what did they go? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome the immediate past special advisor to the governor, to Governor Obaseki on media, communications, and strategy. I'd always like to add that strategy and media projects, Mr. Crusoe Osagi, to our platform this evening.
How about the crack team boss?
My leader, oh Tagbobo, greetings to you. Oh Tagbobo. Oh Tagbobo, greetings to you, sir.
I don't see that Otakbobo full social media when I don't make them popular.
Because they say they want to teach us Yoruba, but now let Otagbogbo Tinubu doctor not teach us. So that's why we are. If you call me now, if you don't say Otagbogbo, I will cut the call. Because I don't want to offend any. I don't want to offend the ancestors. I don't want to offend the Yaloja Tinubu people. So it is Otagbogbo greetings. I get to an Agboguredo. I get to an Abese. I get to Obowie. It is Otagbogbo. Agbogbo. Otagbogbo. Agbogbo. I'll talk later. Greetings, sir.
I want to thank you very much one more time for bringing me on your show again today or tonight. It's an honor to be here. This affords us the opportunity to speak directly to our people. There's no question about the fact that Albert Obaze, the crack team boss, and City Niger, you're probably the most vibrant and most known influencer, out of Edo State. I don't know too many who have the kind of reach that you have. So it's always an honor and privilege to come on your show and enlighten our people. Thank you for having me again today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crusoe. First, before we go into the madness, ravaging Edo, the state of cluelessness as we speak. Edos are in penury. They are in the dark, and the man leading them is blank. You're black as this my place day now under Obaseki. Edo was like this. Eh? As Okpebholo come, this is exactly what Tinubu used Okpebholo to do to us.
Pure flight.
Yes, that's what Edo big. This is the state of Edo.
Dark.
Edo big now.
Dark. It's unfortunate.
And until we remove Tinubu come 2027, Edo will remain like this. But if Tinubu go come 2027, that's why Edo will be.
Light
He
will
go
come
come back. Go come back. So, sir, now so I want to start
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
conversation. I believe
Yeah.
say now the best way. I never know how that one take come. You know the
No
part of
problem,
my.
man. Yeah,
I never
it's
know
good.
I take come. You
Yeah.
don't take part of my plan.
Yeah, I mean, Nigeria is in a serious it's in a serious state, a very critical state. Nigerians are in crisis. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Accra, Ghana, and even though it's a much smaller economy than Nigeria and a much smaller country, you would know when you come into a country where things are working, a country where there is growth, economic growth, a country where there's rule of law, a country where the private sector is active, a country where the tourism sector is active, and at the same time, in Nigeria, in Lagos, for example, which is my place of abode most of the time, when you contrast what I saw in Accra with what I saw in Lagos, you see that Nigeria is in the doldrums. You see, even though some construction is going on in Lagos, but you find that it's messy. You find that the place is like a war-torn. Nigeria is like a war-torn country, like a country that just come out from a war. You're coming, whether you're coming from Badagry or you're coming from Ikeja Airport, or you're coming from the Benin Expressway into Lagos, whichever way you come into Lagos from, you see some construction going on, but you see that it is in a mess. It's in shambles. You see people under the bridge. You see human waste all over the place. You see a chaotic space. For example, there was a certain night I was going from Ikoyi to Aja. I couldn't get to Aja. I couldn't get to Aja. When I got to the Ozumba Mbadiwe and saw that the traffic had backed up all the way from Ozumba Mbadiwe straight to Aja, I had to turn around, and I didn't go to the house that day. I had to sleep somewhere in Ikoyi, because there was just no way to get home. So such is the situation in Nigeria. It's a chaotic place. It's a place where it's like a place where there's no law, there's no order, there's no system, there's nothing's working. Everything is just in shambles, But contrast that with a small country like Ghana, and then look at their main city, Accra. You see order. You see policemen doing what policemen are supposed to do. You see that the environment ministry is working. The place is neat. They may not look rich, but you see that they are orderly. You see that there is a government in place. So this is exactly what we can see is missing in Nigeria. In Nigeria at the moment, it looks like there's no government. In Nigeria at the moment, the government appears to be poised to fleece its own people. For example, they are preparing a tax regime that will kick off in 2026, and this tax regime is essentially to siphon what originally is in the hands of the citizens, and move the resources into government. A friend of a relative of mine who is an investment banker and investment analyst in America was speaking to me last week and was analyzing the flawed nature of the tax regime that the Tinubu administration is introducing beginning 2026. And he was saying, you know what's going to happen? I said, no. He said what's going to happen is that they are trying to butcher the already dwindled purchasing power, the already dwindled disposable income of the average Nigerian, and cut that money into public coffers for their looting again. Are you following me? So
Yes.
what assuming you're a Nigerian earning, let's say, 1.5 million naira a month through whatever means, maybe you are trading in Alaba, you're also selling some things in a computer village, you're just struggling to piece this income together. What the government is trying to do now is to come into that your 1 point something million, which when you earn, you are also going to go to the market to buy some food, pay your children's school fees, do some other, buy some meat and all those kinds of, and then those monies that you have earned, it doesn't stay in your hand. It goes back into the system to empower other people at different strata of economic operation. So then those people also go and buy their, and so the money still finds a way to turn around. But what the Tinubu government is trying to do now is to go into that 1 point something million and butcher it, take maybe 30 something percent out of it, and move that 30 something percent into the state coffers. And guess what happens to monies that get into public coffers? What happens to it? It's looted, converted into dollars, and ferried out of Nigeria. So whatever the people are going through now is going to become worse, almost double by next year, by the time the federal government moves into private incomes and begin to butcher it in the name of taxes, and move those monies away from the hands of from the hands of private individuals in Nigeria into public coffers. Then, of course, these monies in the public coffers will be channeled towards phony projects and then siphoned out of the country. So, in the end, the money that assuming you used to go to the market with 200,000 out of that 1.2 million naira that you earn monthly, after the new tax regime is implemented, you will not be able to go to the market with 200,000 anymore. You are probably going to go to the market with 80,000, which means the money you're going to inject into the market system within the country is going to reduce. Let's say you used to take 90,000 out of it to pay certain bills, at home. You're going to have to cut down so your disposables will go down. Once your disposable goes down, what you inject into the overall economy goes down. Once that goes down, then what goes into the economic system goes down. If the money that is going to be collected by the government was going to be honestly deployed to projects that we inject resources into the economy, maybe it would have been okay. But you and I know that the Nigerian public sector has not earned the reputation of injecting funds genuinely into the system. Rather, once funds go into the public coffers, what happens is that most of these monies, not less than 50 to 60% of these monies, find their way back into private pockets and not into the pockets of people like you and me, ordinary people. It finds pocket into big wigs who don't need extra money to spend in the market, who don't need extra money to spend in the pharmacy or in the shops. All they are looking for is money that they're going to retire into their private coffers. So that is the next phase of crisis that Nigerians are going to face in the next few months. It's going to be masked with the toga of a tax, and then it's going to butcher the disposable income of the average Nigerian and ferry these resources into public coffers. And then, of course, through Coastal Road project, through all the I hear that they want to fix the bottom of Third Mainland Bridge inside the sea that we cannot see with 3 point something trillion, all kinds of things. All those monies will be ferried out again. And then at the end of the day, the average Nigerian will be the worst for it. So just kicking off this conversation with what is going on in the country, and then zeroing down to Edo. Edo is in crisis. So imagine, when this kind of heist is taking place at national level. If you had people at the state level who are in their own right, knowledgeable, smart and intelligent, connected, have the right network, and so on and so forth, then the tendency would have been there for the people at the local level to sort of build a shield that will reduce the impact of what is going on at the center on the state. But we have a government that is remotely controlled in Edo State from all other parts of Nigeria, from Lagos, from Abuja, from Akwa Ibom, from different places where the different godfathers reside. That's from where they remote control Edo. So it just tells you that the situation of the average Edo person is even going to be worse than the situation of the average Nigerian person, because apart from the fact that the economy is being, cut down at national level, it is being plundered even further at state level, because we don't have people with requisite understanding, requisite knowledge, requisite experience, requisite network to protect the Edo State people from the wreckage that is going on at the center.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crusoe, for that. We are going to start this conversation like this. I know a lot of people are waiting and watching. Please, before we start discussing the state of bad governance in Edo State, your boss, the immediate governor of Edo State, His Excellency Governor Noelase Obaseki, has been moving around to meet, greet, and have a conversation with his supporters. He started in Canada to America, now is in Europe. Fortunately, I was privileged to be with him in Roma. And I know you are one of the key people in the kitchen cooking this whole arrangement. In 5 minutes, can you tell us what is going on and what is the essence of this movement by the former governor?
Yeah, to a very large extent, most of these visits that the former governor of Edo State, His Excellency Obaseki, is making across the world. He's been in North America, Canada, United States. Now I saw the videos from Rome, and most of them are spontaneous meetings. They're not meetings that are planned over a long period of time. No, they're spontaneous. It's a testament to how well Obaseki performed as governor. Obaseki was not the type of person who catered to the personal interests of individual persons within Edo State. Rather, he catered to the collective interest of Edo people. Dealt with the land administration that made it possible for people to easily, register their property and really hold title to property. He dealt with education at primary and secondary level, so that people will no longer have to go and pay humongous sums that they cannot afford in private schools. He dealt with civil service administration, so that your relatives who work in the government, who used to still complain to you in America or in Italy, that for that hearing, we now the government law, you get it, that they are looked after. We had the health insurance. So there are many diasporans who no longer wasted monies paying hospital bills in different hospitals. Rather, what they just did was they just paid for the annual health insurance of their wards and relatives in Edo, and that was it. If they were not feeling fine, they just had to walk into any of the designated hospitals and they get treatment. Rokamego was handling that project, for the governor. The governor handled that through that gentleman, Rokamego. It was an excellent initiative that improved the lives of people and reduced the pressure pressure that the people in diaspora felt, and security. You're in Italy, you're in America, you're in Canada. You're not worried that somebody's going to break into your father's house or your mother's house and beat them up or rob them, or the silencing of the activities of non-state actors that are now being empowered. I heard that the people are going to cough out 900 and something million naira for Mr. Tony.
Almost a billion. Almost a billion.
About a billion for Mr. Tony Kabaka, who actually had his property built across a road. I used to know that part of town. So you have to go around his house to go from one part of the road to the other part of the road. That same property that was built across a road. So I heard a lot of conversations around. So people are like, oh, the break Binima Hotel. I'm wondering, are they crazy? Are they all right? We're talking about a property that was built across a road. My father's house is on Jamie Day Drive. It is like if let's take anybody who knows Jamie Day Drive off Goodwill in Benin City, take Jamie Day's house and build it across the road. Just stretch that Jamie Day's fence across the road, so that if you wanted to go to Ihenye Hospital from Goodwill, you will not be able to come through Goodwill. You have to now go around through a radio to come to Ihenye Hospital. That's how Tony Kabaka's house was built. Across a road, and so that portion of it that was sitting on top of a road was removed, so that there will be free movement for people to go from one end of the street to another end of the street. That is the correction that was done by the Obaseki government, that Okpebholo is now paying him ₦1 billion for ₦1 billion state resources. So you can imagine the extent of the waste that is going on. Back to the conversations that the question that you asked. So a lot of these projects and programs and initiatives introduced by Obaseki helped a lot of people in the diaspora. People who had land no longer needed to worry. People who have parents that no longer needed to worry. People who had relatives no longer needed to worry about how they would be treated. So when all that work was done, even though the work was done in Edo, the effect reverberated across the world.
Yes.
And it is these people who enjoyed these benefits. Some of them now having a good title to their property. Some of them who were worried before whether their properties will be hijacked from them by non-state actors like the Kabaka that is now being re-empowered by this government. Now they had no fear anymore, because they knew that their properties were properly registered, and they knew that no riffraff can come into their property and chase them out. People benefit. These people in diaspora benefited, from Obaseki's administration, not directly, not by handouts, not by scam contracts and those kinds of terrible things that other politicians do, but by Obaseki's direct injection of the state resources, to the common good, to deal with issues that have to do with the common good of the people. And then the response of these people, oh, this man is out of office for the first time after 8 years. Basically, he's having some time, because for 8 years he was bogged down with work, because some governors some people come into office just to show that they are in government. Obaseki went to office to really work. So he worked really hard, intensely for 8 years, and he hardly had time for rest, but now he has some time. And so, like I said, spontaneously he's in this city, and people just gather and say, look, we must meet you. And so Obaseki goes, and he, of course, offers his gratitude to these people for their support, for their, for the fellowship, for the kind of fellowship they passed across to him while he was in office, and apologize to them that he has not been able to see them all this while because the work has been enormous, but that he's grateful for their support and so on. And they also in turn thank Obaseki for the effort he made to transform the lives of Edo people and how it impacted them, positively. So that's how these visits you have been seeing have been happening. They're not things that were planned. Obaseki is not seeking any political office. He's not trying to run for anything. He's just a private citizen now who has served his people already and is done. But of course, when you do good, good will follow you. So they are from what I hear now, there are many people who have even extended invitations to him from all across the world, asking him to come and visit their cities.
As we speak, more than 9 countries, about 30 cities.
So that's what I'm saying. So these are not planned events. Oh, let's strategize. These are things that are just spontaneous occurrences resulting from how good the people feel about the kind of leadership Obaseki provided them and how much hope they feel anytime they see him and interact with him. And so most of them want to have this opportunity to have a handshake, to have a warm hug, to have this interaction with the man they believe made genuine effort to transform their lives and the lives of their people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crusoe. Let me quickly add to this because I was privileged to be in the room. Thank you, a visit of the former governor, His Excellency Governor Noel Obaseki. Sir, while we were there, in fact, what I saw, in fact, I don't go fit explain. While we were there, calls came. In fact, Oga even showed me one evening we were having a conversation with him. He showed me, say, our people still there, what do they call this country? Bangladesh, India. The governor got a message. Someone forwarded, the former governor, someone forwarded, talk back up everything that they have Edo Union in Bangladesh, that they pass to come. Those are everywhere and they are following what you are doing. This Sunday, Oga will be in Torino. Torino was not part of the plan before. It was just Rome, Italy. From there, you will go another country. This very weekend, so it was supposed to be for Greece, Athens. But the pressure from Torino, to the extent that those in Torino were mounting pressure on EPA to change, to move this thing, to say, no, we made it pass people went there Rome. It must be Torino. Oga said, okay, don't worry. I go do Torino. Albert, please. I let me just say EPA call you, say, we need to move Athens so that Torino can use that date. If as we speak, Denmark, it's here. Istanbul, Turkey. My father, how about we go rent hall, we go carry a for airport, we will pay for flights, they probably come see us, everywhere. Because of the Torino, this thing, a passages don't go Yankee. But the because they don't fly, go Yankee, they come back, making you out there around there. Europe. So a party around Europe now, so that make it make the Torino. So what did we conceive say? Say we say if I go Rome, I go the college will say a part deal. Now people they come tell me say, oh sorry, about to go Fiekina, we should come say Canadian Rome. When they see that's why when you watch that video, you see the excitement. They say I can't boo there. So I also want to thank the former governor, and I want to encourage him. Make he go, make he the waka. If people want to see him, sir. Now make we go. It don't matter.
Yes,
because it don't matter. Don't reach. It don't reach our people. It don't reach here. Okpebholo is drowning our people. Okpebholo and his gang, he's suffocating the people. In a drill the remaining blood and this thing went to their body. I don't know what Edo people do. It's like he's still reacting to the fact that Edo people rejected him at the polls. Whether or not that one make they want punish Edo people, I don't know. But before I ask you this question, sir, I want to make we play the ITV report where Okpebholo take go the two this thing. Maybe we watch this report again. I will ask you my first question, sir.
Thank you.
The on-the-spot inspection of the Stella Obasanjo Hospital afforded Governor Okpebholo, accompanied by top government officials, an opportunity to obtain first-hand information on the state of the secondary health facility. The governor, after inspecting the facility, expressed displeasure over the inauguration of what he described as uncompleted projects by the immediate past administration. He described the move as a disservice to Edo people and promised to complete the project before December to render quality health care to Edo people.
Hospital, we see for ourselves. Yes, a lot of work has been done, but we have so much to do. The administrative block is not completed at all. Then installations are not done. The theater is not done. So a lot. I don't even know why they commissioned this place, if we have to say the truth. But now we would do our best to see that within short time, between now and Christmas, this place should be activated.
Edo State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Cyril Oshomole, who conducted the governor around the Stella Obasanjo Hospital, disclosed that the hospital was barely 60% completed before inauguration, pointing out that many of the hospital beds were old and recycled.
It's just about 60% completion. We have a lot of work to do. Some of the beds we saw, they are old beds from the old, recycled from the old hospitals. So HE promised that he's going to keep it up to 100%.
At the Edo State Education Hub at Yaro, the governor expressed similar disappointment, noting that the haste to inaugurate the complex by the previous administration was misleading. He promised that his administration, in weeks to come, will take inventory of facilities and mobilize contractors to make the education hub functional. Contractor handling the project, George Boom Maroon, explained that the complex is designed to centralize all educational activities in the state, housing offices of the Ministry of Education, SUBEB, Library Board, Auditorium, Staff Restaurant, and other administrative units. Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
Mr. Crusoe, sir.
Obazi.
Yes, as a key player in the immediate past administration, what is your take on this deliberate attempt by Okpebholo and his gang to discredit this gigantic Stella Obasanjo Hospital, the education hub, and others? What's your take, sir?
No, but I mean, you don't even need to go beyond this report to see that Okpebholo was just trying to be mysterious and clever by half, and let me even say that Okpebholo himself, did a good job publicizing or stressing how well Obaseki did. He made a statement. He said a lot of work has been done. in Benin, if you want to capture that in the Benin adage, you say Oyimi Ogakwe.
Ogakwe.
Yes, you know what that means. For those people who don't speak Benin, Benin language is loaded with a lot of wisdom. Oga is like a barn where they keep yam. Yam barn is what is called Oga. So a certain thief who went to steal yam from another man's barn was caught, in the process. And so when they were questioning him, why did you go and steal in the place? The man said, no, I didn't go and steal yam there. I only touched the barn, but yam is missing. How did you touch? So so for Okpebholo himself to say that a lot of work has been done, for a politician, that tells you the whole story. Obaseki completed that job. Perhaps a few blocks to be added in some corners here and there cannot make a hospital, unfunctional. The hospital was fully functional. Every aspect of what a hospital should be was ready. He was talking about admin block. What is admin block? Is it the admin block that runs the hospital? The hospital is ready. The hospital is set. The hydrotherapy place, I saw it. That's the swimming pool. I saw a lot of the equipment all set. And finally, along those lines, he said that before December, what month are we in now?
October, sir.
So it means he wants to use only November to do the job, right?
Yes.
Come on now. If the job was not already complete, how do you complete it in 1 month? How do you complete? Even if you were going to order equipment assuming no job was done, like the puppet Cyril Oshomole was saying. If you were going to order medical equipment from Europe or America or even China, how long will it take for you to order it and ship it to Nigeria before you install it? Can that happen within 30 days or 60 days? It can't happen. It means that all the equipment are there. It means that everything you need to complete your hospital is there. That's why he's saying that the hospital he will complete it before December. Essentially, he's just going to go and paint some places and sweep the place. What he's trying to do is to prepare the stage for him to steal credit for that hospital to himself, and it cannot happen. I don't people know who built that hospital. I don't people know who completed it. All the equipments are ready, all the machines are ready, everything is set. Many of them are almost all of them are being installed, not almost all of them. The ones that are not being installed are parked, carefully in the stores where they should be. So it should not. It should. Stop this the foolishness, and just install that hospital so that people can use it and stop fooling himself. We have said it again and again. He should go and do his projects. Don't go and be pussyfooting around projects that have already been completed, or projects that have been cleaned up and completed by Basek. You're pussyfooting around them and trying to claim them for yourself when there are a lot of things in Edo that need to be done. Instead of him to do his own project, he's going to do white elephant projects, flyover, in Rama Park, as if we need it. Do we need a flyover just so we can be saying we have one flyover? Is that how you conceptualize and choose projects that you are going to do? You choose projects you are going to do that will have a maximum effect on the socio-economic lives of the people. Not something that people will say, oh, it's a big, just look at it. We are not looking for aesthetic project. We're looking for projects that have effect on the lives of the people. So my advice to Okpebholo is that you should wake up. 1 year is gone. You can never get the 12 months that is gone back by November 12th, this month, which is about a month away from now. It will be 1 year in office. So, at a point, this blame game will become tired, even in his mouth. It becomes tired. So 1 year has passed. You have not been able to improve the lives of your people. You are still going to pussyfoot around the project of your predecessor in office and trying to set the stage to claim it. So you know what he's trying to do now? He wants to prepare Stella Obasanjo Hospital. He wants to prepare Education Hub. All of them. He wants to prepare them for commissioning in November. Yes.
As a project.
Yes, that's what he's trying to do. That's what he's trying to do. So that's why he's setting this stage late. So look, 419 cannot work here. We know that he has a lot of them in his cabinet. People who are 419 people, from the very top to the bottom. But you see, it's not every time that you play 419. And it's not everybody you play 419. We all understand what is going on in Edo. Even the market woman in the village understands what's going on in Edo. So you should wake up. In all fairness, I think, I don't know whether Okpebholo is a 419 because I don't have those that information. But I know the people who are 419 people in his government. I can mention their names, but for the sake of libel, let me not just mention their names. But I know them, and I know Edo people know them. There are too many around him, so they are giving him a lot of formats. 419 people use what they call formats. So go try this format. Go try that format. They try one format for Glasgow. They try this. They want to try. They are trying different formats just to set the people up and make the people believe that they are working when they are actually not working. Instead of working, they are siphoning monies out of the system, handing to different politicians. It's not going to work. Setting up a transport line that we don't need. We don't need a line. We have God is good. We have Degbe. We have Iyare. We have GU. We have Godi Edosa. We have, you name it. We have 100. We have Humber line. We have all kinds of transportation companies in Edo. A government does not need to set up another one. So just look at everything he has done since he came to office. They are all white elephant projects. They are all projects designed to siphon resources from Edo people. Those are the things we need. We need him to intervene in areas that would touch the lives of the people. You should fix critical roads, not just white elephant flyover bridges that we don't need. Critical roads that move people that move goods and commodities to the market or out of the farms. It needs to deal with the health insurance that he abandoned so that our people can access healthcare. It needs to deal with the security architecture of Obaseki bill that he butchered into pieces. He needs to reconstitute and allow it function again so that the people will be secure or feel secure to do their different businesses. He needs to to continue the Edo Best scheme, which made Edo State the most outstanding state with respect to education. He needs to allow civil service function again and the bureaucracies work as Obaseki had set it up, paperless, online work that was being done. Those are the things he needs to do. So about Okpebholo, this 419 method will not favor you. I don't think you are a 419. You are not a 419. There is a yellow one. There's one yellow man among them that is a 419. There is another one, Shomole, described as a 419 man and sacked him out of his government. He occupies a very big position now in this current government. There are several other of them that are 419 people that we know are 419 people. And so they are giving him their 419 methods, but it's not going to work for him. What he needs to do is to pull himself together.
And amigo actually told us how one of them was sending check or both check. He posted even almost Religion told us one of them how he was doing check in Canada. So we know.
But Okpebholo can still try to save himself. At a time in your life as a human being, you should ask yourself questions. What do you really want? Whether Okpebholo likes it or not, it will be recorded in history that he was governor of Edo State. Even though we know that he did not win the elections, even though we know that the election was stolen and given to him, but it will be recorded. So the question people are going to be asking him, after he has finished, his tenure, is what did you do when you were there? He cannot say that he spent the whole 4 years blaming Obaseki, for things he couldn't do. He can't say it. It won't be a tenable excuse. So he needs to wake up now and try to do something. And I keep saying it. Obaseki has tremendous amount of love for Edo people. If he's so confused and does not know what to do, let him put a call across to Obaseki. Obaseki can tell him 1 or 2 things that can help him. I'm sure Obaseki will still help him. Can still help him. Say, look, do this, do that to change these security issues. Do this, do that to deal with the healthcare issue. Do this, do that to deal with the private. He clearly does not know what to do, but he's getting suggestions on what to do from 419 people. And then at the end of the day, what the outcome is going to be complete rubbish. So rounding up that conversation, I don't even need to join words with him. He by himself in his statements made it very clear that a lot of work has been done. For him to say a lot of work has been done, there's nothing else for me to say. And then he also now concluded by saying that he will complete the hospital by December, and we're in October. He has not started yet, which means maybe towards the end of October he will start. He will use the whole of November to finish the work and hand the hospital over in December. Come on now. You and I know that what he's saying indirectly is that he will go and open the hospital that he closed by December. People will use it. Yeah.
Mr. Kuso, along this, let me see. I don't know if you saw a video where the deputy governor went to the central hospital and was doing this CDA Okayele kind of boundary dispute. Put a peer, foundation, he was doing all those kind of
So I don't.
like a pointer, like a community pointer that they want to expand the central hospital, that more should not encroach and all that. Please, can you tell us what's going on with this government and MOA?
I know MOA is an international organization. So, I would not want to speculate on issues that concern their business, but I would like to state very categorically that such an organization, will not build on a land that is not allocated to it.
Yes.
MOA will have the certificate of occupancy for the land it occupies. Are you following me?
Yes.
You don't put such a multi-million dollar investment on land that you cannot verify. No financial institution will release the monies for you to carry out that investment or to carry out that project. Are you following me? So after when Dennis, when he wakes up from his slumber, he should go and sit down in a corner. Look, international, it's just like you're saying that they are building an embassy and the country that is building the embassy does not know the demarcation of the property that they are building on. That's exactly what they are saying with respect to MOA. MOA is an international institution, as a matter of fact. It's a place where world-class artworks will be stored, and it will be a teaching center as well. It will be an experience center. It's been built by the most renowned architect in the world, Adejare. It's not built for the local market only. It's built mostly for the international market. It's a tourism tool, that would bring people not just into Edo but into Nigeria. So the joke should stop. Dennis Okpebholo should stop this joke and try to govern. With the remaining 3 years that they have in government. I repeat, MOA is an international institution that will not build on land that it does not have duly registered title for. Period. That's just as simple as and MOA is not being built with funds flowing into MOA. It's coming from international organizations, international governments. Italian, Dutch, British, they are all contributing funds into that project from the little I know about MOA. Do you think they're going to put their money in the development of a museum that they don't know the demarcation? Come on now. So if there's anybody that is confused, is Dennis Idausa, not MOA.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we move to the trending 250 million MOU alleged Glasgow scam. I don't know if you follow this comedian called Governor Amunike.
Amuneke is one of my best content creators. Let's see the edit.
So I don't know if that guy has worked with government before. In fact, he has all the skills, all the way evil politicians manipulate and lie to the people. In fact, what ITV reported today, that's actually the edit.
That's the edit.
I want to show you the Okpebholo, the raw video.
Yes.
Before the edit. Let's watch.
Okay.
First of all, let me thank the Okpebholo Clueless. The start of first of all, let me thank the Okpebholo Clueless, the CMD, and the Permanent Secretary. The start of Contigo Specialist. First of all, let me thank the Okpebholo Clueless, the CMD, and the Permanent Secretary. The start of Octopus specialist.
So, sir, that is the raw work.
Okay.
But the one ITV showed us that
Now
the edits. Oh, they put Okpebholo for inside motor. For him man now, Octopus specialist na him dey. I be no
They
hear
can't
when
remind them. They can't
now
remind them
wetin
to tell our Obasanjo.
it makes one make dem even talk am say as
Oh,
the man no even reason as okay from government house to country road e
you
don
know,
reach
far.
35 minutes. Now with the state of bad road from government house to Otibo specialist e suppose reach like 4 to 5 hours. So why go dey dey say the management of Otibo specialist? So that is the raw this thing, but ITV show us the
The edit.
edits.
The edit.
So now to tell you that this man is blank, he doesn't know what is going on around him. If you even look at, thank God say that the MOU side where they go now,
Yes.
the Ogbelaka be the Akpakpaba MOU this one carry go arise. You go even see say now Loretta and the SSG next sign. So
Mhm.
Okpebholo not sign. Even the Euro 60 Africa CCR, any man sign. So we don't really know what is going on, but we just pray that the good ancestors may they bail Edo out of this mess. Now, sir,
Yes.
before I ask you about the nonsense what they can't do for Glasgow, make we fair watch the like 2 minutes of the diaspora director, the director of diaspora agency Loretta on Arise TV. I bet more just watch this more now about 20 something minutes clip. But I just call this one come on go. We don't fit play all. Let's watch this one.
Immediately after that summit, we had, because we had to move into action, we had a discussion with the Director General of the European African CCI and members of his team. And he was, and our team, because the governor at that point in time had now delegated that the SSG leads the team. Our team actually then decided, what do we do next? And of course, it was to have this mutual agreement of intent, a memorandum of understanding, which, I mean, as everybody would know, it's not a legally binding document, but it's something that is going to direct how we think and our goals. And we all sat down and discussed, and at the end of the day, they told us that they were going to bring these monies in trenches over about 3 to 5 years. And that they actually have local implementation partners, Charles. And when we actually even checked on the day, we found that 3 of their local implementation partners are already in Edo State. And had been inaugurated with certificates in public space. So we actually signed an MOU, and that was signed, completed on the 23rd.
So let's be clear that what was signed was a memorandum of understanding, not a commitment to invest. An MOU is a non-binding agreement that expresses an intention to work together. So in that regard, was it right for the Edo State government to say that it has secured an investment deal of $250 million?
Well,
I mean, it was quite categorical.
I think it's a matter of semantics in this case and what people would want to believe or what people know about investment procedures. Investment procedures, you will first have your MOU signed, the parties will come together, they will draw the nitty-gritty of the contracts, and then they have room for flexibility because of the way MOUs are, and then contracts are signed. So they have already indicated that they even have the first tranche of money to come into Edo State. And this is where I think we'll have to get people to be a bit more patient. They are going to come with their team. We don't expect people to start doing their projects the next day after they make an announcement. I mean, you know that. So I believe as well, because I was quite taken aback when people were saying the emails didn't go, and we sent them emails, we sent them invitations, and we got reply back. So
Mr. Kuso, I beg, before I ask my question,
Mhm.
I think someone needs to remind Dr. Loretta Ogboroko Abi Ogborokoto or Ogboroko. I not to know her surname like that. Dr. Loretta Moliva like that. That Arise TV is not a big platform. Epa, last night, what? Because I watched her live. Now why I could even, you remember say, "Pa, let me call you." Let me call
Yes.
you say, "Pa, Loretta, or Arise me." Arise. Epa, I was shaking to say, someone should just please call her and say, this is not a Ranobigo platform. This is not Lante or Oriaki commercial platform. This is Arise TV, an international platform. Epa, I wish, if, in fact, mega alternate of your dodo, mega loyalty with Lawa, Lawa. Doctor, you were professional. I know you came and I know. So, Mr. Crusoe,
Yes.
I mean, you don't see some revelations from one adult journalist. You don't, I mean, you be journalists, you know these things. Ogbede family also went on a rise and they challenged them to come. Normally, now Loretta, because I get the publication where she took credit for the Glasgow summit. So maybe now there, Jared will say, hey, you go to Arise. Now you say, hey, maybe we come Glasgow. Go quench the fire when you said. So, Mr. Crusoe, I mean, take us through this investment.
Yeah. Yeah. First and foremost, I mean, the $250 million investment was a scam. There's no
Wow.
question about that. I mean, it was clear. The PDP, investigated, and apart from PDP, independent investigative journalists did their investigation. I'm a journalist by profession. There are simple things you do to investigate a deal. The first thing you do is first and foremost just first check. That website, when was it set up? Then after that, the European CCI, European Africa CCI, when was it set up? What are the companies that work, under that Chamber of Commerce? What are the companies? There's no company in the world that you cannot check their net worth, even from the comfort of your room. Unless it's not a company of repute. From where I'm seated here, I can check the net worth of Bank of America. I can check the net worth of Tesla. I can check the net worth of you can check all of them. So there's no of any individual for that matter. I know Dangote's net worth. I know Femi Tedla's net worth. I know Jeff Bezos's net worth. I know you can check. So it's a scam. The European Africa CCI is a phony organization set up by some individuals to hoodwink people and make some money for themselves. It's simple. A call was put across to the European Africa CCI, and the number to which that call went, which is the number from the website of European Africa CCI, was non-functional. It was a number assigned to a Yoruba woman somewhere who could not even speak in English.
Maybe the company hired a Yoruba woman, maybe thinking that all their clients will be Yoruba, because the woman was just
The
on the
woman,
state
the woman
sector.
didn't even know. The woman
That
didn't
was
even know.
sorrow.
The woman didn't even know what European Africa CCR meant. So she was not hired. It was just a number that was tossed there. You know, the email address returned Melademon, which means that the emails were non-functional. Loretta should show us the email addresses that she was sending emails to. You know, that she said, oh, we sent them emails, they got there. How do we verify that? Because you said it, we should believe you. The real email on their website was emails were sent to it, and the emails bounced back. So who should we believe? Should we believe you, who's supposedly part of the scam, or should we believe the investigation that we have done? You know, for someone like Loretta, it's a pathetic case of somebody who's supposed to be an enlightened person who has thrust herself into a fraudulent environment and then is messing herself up in the process. I know some of our classmates. I think they went to school in Benin there, I think. I met a couple of our classmates. They are younger than me, you know, so I know, I think a few friends of mine, their younger ones went to school with her. You know, Loretta's case is a case of, you know, there is a big book for class, not mean say you get sense. That's just it. You know, sometimes some people are good in class, you know, but doesn't mean that your brain is you're really sensible, you know. So because I can't even understand why an obstetric and gynecologist, you know, Loretta is a gynecologist who from what I hear practices in the United Kingdom. What is she doing going to on a rise to defend a lie, you know, about a $250 million that does not exist? She doesn't, that is not her age. She should not do that to herself. She shouldn't be doing that to herself. Who sent her to on that television program, Okpebholo, that does not have primary 6, or Jared Tenepe, that does not have primary 6, or who sent her on that errand? There's nobody.
Maybe Piccolo, because Piccolo was also with them.
There's nobody in that government that has earned the right to send Loretta on that errand. I can say that because I know what it means to study medicine. I know what it means to study medicine. You must work hard. I know what it means to be a gynecologist in England. You must work hard. I hear her husband is also a very big doctor in Abuja. I think he's a husband is a neurosurgeon. I think in America, in Abuja. You know, so what are those kinds of people doing with these kinds of? So it's difficult for me to understand. You know, so if I were Loretta, well, I can never be Loretta, because for Loretta to accept a job from these kinds of fraudulent people then already speaks volume about the kind of the extent of her values, you know, and the kind of the nature of person she is. So it's just very uncomfortable to watch. I watched that video. I felt very uncomfortable to watch, you know, a trained gynecologist who saves the lives of women, you know, at birth, who saves the lives of babies at birth, who looks after pregnant women, who helps women to get families to get, you know, very important work in society. For somebody like that to reduce herself to the level where you go on Arise TV and you're rubbished by a journalist, you begin to tell all kinds of stupid lies to defend a $250 million that does not exist. How many people have $250 million in the world? Do we not? Can't we count them in our hand?
Yes.
The people who have $250 million, we can count them on this show, in this world. People can come up with $250 million. We can count them. You know, so you just go and you think you can just bandy that number and nobody will check. We have checked and we have found out that it's funny. And then they send a trained gynecologist that practices in England. If he was even practicing in Nigeria, I would say it's because of hunger. He practices in England, so she should be able to feed herself and her family. You know, to go and be telling lies on TV. Oh, we sent me emails. The emails went through. I don't know what they were. Oh, let us wait. People should be patient. What are you talking? What are you saying? $250 million. Did you see the headlines? I saw the headlines in the Punch newspaper. Edo signs $250 million deal with European Africa CCI. That was the headline. And now you flash a memorandum of understanding before our faces on Arise TV. Have you people forgotten that was what you kept singing about Obaseki's government? That MOU means is nothing. So MOU is something now. MOU has suddenly become something because at the time, every time that you listen to their campaigns or calumny against His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, they say, "Oh, it's MOU government, it's MOU government." MOU counted for nothing at the time when Obaseki was there. But now, after you have gone you have attempted to deceive the people and you have been caught, all you have to show for your fraud is a lousy MOU, you know. So it's unfortunate, but that's where we find ourselves. Yeah, you can see pictures of Obaseki on international stage looking for investors. When you go to China to look for investors, you see Chinese people. Can you see the pictures? You see Chinese people. When you go to, you see, that's how it looks when you go to look for investors abroad. If you want to look at it. That's it. That's how it looks. This was Obaseki when he was getting the investments that came into Edo. He met these people. Not that you gather yourself from Okpebholo and from Uirua and from Uromi and from what's the name of that Oshomoles town? Iyamo. And all of you gather yourself into a plane, fly to London, stay on Park in Hilton Park Lane for 2 weeks. Then after staying in Hilton Park Lane for 2 weeks, you now dodge into Glasgow for only 2 days, and then pretend as if you went for investment summit. That is rubbish. And then you now show us the edit like Governor Amuneke and expect us to believe that this. Can you see the pictures of Obaseki going on international summits? If your crew can, let them flash these pictures again. So when you go to Edinburgh or you go to Glasgow for summit, you will see Glasgow people there. If you want to see people from Iyamo, you don't have to go to Glasgow. Iyamo people can be seen in Iyamo. Irua people can be seen in Irua. Uzebu people can be seen in Uzebu. If you are going to look for Chinese people, you will see Chinese people. If you are going to look for Chinese investors, if you are going to look for British investors, you will see British people in those summits. So these are tired, 419 propaganda strategies that Dr. Loretta unfortunately allowed herself to be used to stage. And this is why I give kudos to Governor Obaseki again. This Loretta, she made frantic efforts to penetrate Obaseki's government. Frantic effort. I can tell you that for free as a close advisor to Obaseki when he was governor. She made frantic effort. There was nothing she didn't do to try to get into the government. But Obaseki just didn't, for some reason, he was not. So I was wondering at the time, why is Obaseki not giving her, a position? Obaseki just didn't. So clearly, to be a leader at that level, you are able to see through people and try to understand, what they are about. So Obaseki just was never convinced. Okay, is this their own?
Yeah, this is their own. This is their own summit.
It's only the Loretta that looks almost like Oyibo. So they all tag themselves.
I'm trying to get Jared. I think Jared is not the Oyibo. Now they use cream, and so I'm trying to put Jared was shiny. I don't know what he not for body. So I did try to get Jared. Oh, just like Jared, that a package. Jared just want a package. Go there. Like I've never seen this kind of investment summit in my life
They
before.
all pack themselves from Uromi, from Ewoimi, from Ubiaja, from Bobai, from Iamo, and they went to first spend 2 weeks in London, Hilton Park Lane, where they paid £500 per night for a room. Wasted Edo people's money for about 2 weeks there. I heard that they even did Jared Tenebe's birthday in Hilton Park Lane, and then they now hopped to Glasgow for 2 days and pretended as if that is why they went to England. They didn't go to England to do any global summit. The global summit was the edit, was the way to justify the millions and millions and billions and billions of naira they are wasted in England. They try to justify it with that very bogus investment summit, which yielded a bogus $250 million investment claim, which the whole world is laughing at as we speak today.
I'm trying to display more pictures from the
summit.
From the summit. I'm actually looking for.
Now, boy, they find you not go see. They're not going to go there.
No,
Nale Jarrett and Dr. Loretta. Now you go see for there.
Because even the Arise journalists asked to like, what if you say that blacks and people.
And see how pathetically Loretta was talking on the television program. She was you could look at her face and you could just tell that she was trying to learn how to lie. The doctors not the quick lie. Doctors, because they have to deal with very serious issues as doctors, they don't quick lie. So she's trying to catch up very fast to be good at lying, but you could still see through her face when you listen. Oh, Charles, the people need to be a little bit patient. You want to learn to. You think them Okpebholo? You think it took them only 6 months to learn how to tell the kind of lies they are telling, or Janet Tenebe? You think it took them only.
People like someone has been lying for over 60 years.
60 years. Charles hit him. She was just looking pathetic on television. And it is terrible. How is she going to explain to the people in her exalted profession? I have tremendous respect for doctors. They are the people I respect the most in the world, because life is the most important thing to preserve. So people who are trained to preserve lives, I have tremendous. All of my friends who are doctors, they will tell you, I have tremendous respect for them. One of my biggest pain, in living in Nigeria, is to see doctors who have spent their lives learning, training, and looking after human beings, caring for human beings, saving lives. They will still be struggling to pay their children's school fees. So so that's the kind of respect I have for doctors. They should not struggle. They should be looked after.
So I think we need. I'm trying to.
Let me just cap it. But Loretta now, she has so treated their profession with disdain. As a matter of fact, her colleagues should call her and tell her, look, stop embarrassing us. She's not like Oshomole's son, who is a political doctor. That one is different. Oshomole's son, I've never heard that he worked in any hospital before in my life. He just somehow read medicine. I don't know how he graduated. But at least Loretta has been practicing medicine for a bit. So I expect her to be of better character. I expect her to be, to not be disposed to being used to tell frivolous, reckless lies, that cannot be defended anywhere in the world. And I challenge Loretta in 4 years' time, before this administration ends, to show me a check that came from European African CCI of even $25 million out of the 10%. If you can show me $25 million flowing into Edo State in one way or the other, I will eat my words. But I can assure you there's no such money coming from European Africa CCI. Even the Obaso man that is claimed to be the chairman of DG of the European African CCI. He doesn't look like somebody that has seen $100,000 before in his life.
At all.
It's unfortunate.
So, Mr. Kuso, I want us to watch this particular video because I'm very sure that maybe the pictures that we have been flashing is maybe the Okpebholo Loretta family people that came to greet them before the summit started. So let us watch this video and see if we'll see some. Even if we don't see some Oyibo, maybe we'll see some Abino for inside the some. Let's watch this video, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I implore every one of us to rise on our feet as we welcome the first citizen, the number one citizen of Edo State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we welcome His Excellency.
I've come to say thank you, Okpebholo.
Yeah, I got investment, man. Yeah, I got investment in the Glasgow.
Matter. So, NID investors.
Well, yeah. We're here, say, in Nigeria, kickback. Every diasporans here, those are not diasporans. They are not even diasporans. They are people who went near the plane in here.
Hey,
Rubbish. So I mean, come on now. You kidding me? You kidding me? Come on now. Let me quote Adam Soshomole. Come on now, you kidding me? It's unfortunate. So this is
yes,
this is the misfortune that we find ourselves, as Edo people, and it's most painful because the people didn't choose this government. The people didn't choose this government. This government imposed itself on the people. This government was imposed on the people by powers that be from Abuja, from Akwa Ibom, from Lagos, from different parts of Nigeria. It's like they have vowed to run Edo and its people down, and then they impose these brigands of leaders, to run the state down, and they're doing a very good job at it. We're only praying that God will give us an aperture into the system by 2028, so that we can put out this completely responsible government and try to start to rebuild Edo again.
Mr. Kuso, let me take you to the traditional part of what is going on in Edo today. In fact, in Edo today, every part of the state is in crisis. From the youth community, Kabaka and his people, they are inflicting pains on the masses. You go to the traditional institution, you see different complaints. We are hearing of different complaints now that even some niggas that have not been paid, they are planning to protest. I don't know when that one, I didn't hear that one today. But I don't know when that one they come up. Say some niggas that were receiving alerts under our Baseki. And since Okpebholo came, they never even see not all the alerts. They got Apula just that they are planning to protest. They want to protest to NUJ to say they are nothing they come again, and it is their legal rights. It's in the constitution, it's a law for them to be paid every month from the revenue when they come Edo, when they come their local government. Then if you go to the women, you see the crisis in our market. Some of our Benin women that have traded in their shades for over 20 years, they have been removed by Josephine, the new crowned Otagbogbo Iyaloja. Sir, what is your take on this Iyaloja Wahala in Edo?
I mean, it's the same thing. There's an attack on all the institutions, that hold Edo together. There's an attack on the education institution. There's an attack on the investment institutions in the state. There's an attack on the civil and public service institutions. There's an attack. In the past couple of weeks, you must have heard the attack on Osiomo, the attack on Moa, the attack. So it's the same onslaught. This time the onslaught is on the market women, the ordinary market woman who's struggling to get her wares to market so that she can make a little sale, so that she can go and look after her children, pay some school fees, so that she can turn the corner for her family, so on and so forth. So the entire Edo, is under attack, by these people. So in much the same way that Dr. Gehon's investment in Osioma was attacked, Moa investment is attacked. You just name it. All these investments are being attacked. In the same way, the investments of these women in the market is being attacked. I hear that they are being subjected to all kinds of levies and taxes and charges. I hear that they are being subjected to inhuman treatments by these so-called Yaloja person. The terrible things going on and also I dare say it's also an attack on our traditional institutions, our revered traditional institution. It's an attack on tradition, because I remember that I saw very clearly when the Oba of Benin, Omonobane Doku Okpebholo Obaiware II, when he stated categorically in the presence of Tinubu's daughter and Josephine and all of them, that the Yaloja concept is alien to Benin culture, to Edo culture. But despite that warning, they went ahead and inaugurated. It was like the crowning of a traditional ruler, that woman. So is that not an onslaught? Is that not an attack on the traditional institution? If that's not an attack on traditional institution, I don't know what is. So there's an attack on traditional institution. There's an attack on the market structures and systems. There's an attack on every facet of the Edo life. So Edo is being strangled. Edo is being boxed into a corner. Edo is being taken into slavery, by elements from outside Edo State. They believe they have bought and paid for Edo, and it's their time to collect it. Unfortunately, we don't know who it is that they paid the monies with which they bought Edo. But for them, they think they have bought Edo, they are paid for it, and they're not trying to seize every structure, every system, every institution, and take us into slavery.
Mr. Kuso, thank you. I think this will be my last question for you today, sir. I don't want you to be that opposition that only sees the areas the government is not doing well, and you cannot point out one thing that the government is doing well. Recently, I watched Ogbede Falo Yisibo saying the government should regime their media, that at least the government is doing something, is trying to do something meaningful, that the government should, the media, the Okpebholo media should step up and showcase the good work of Okpebholo. Sir, can you tell us, remove politics, the few things that Okpebholo has done? You'll be like, no, I'm not a fan of this man, but for here, a try. Can you tell me like 2 or 3 in the last? By next month 12, Okpebholo will be 1 year in office. So Okpebholo is almost 11 months in office. Can you just tell me a few things that he has done that you like, that Edo people should applaud him for, at least?
I mean, since you started the question, I already knew where you were heading. So I've been trying to rack my mind to try to see if there's one thing I can just pick out, you know. And you mentioned Ogbede Falu Isibo. Are you sure? But that was not sarcasm from, you know what sarcasm means? Are you sure?
Yes.
Means, you know, are you sure Falu Isibo was not being sarcastic when he was saying that they should hire a new communication team to help to publicize the good? I suspect that Ogbede must just have been trying to be sarcastic, you know, because I tell you, Albert, this man has not done anything yet. So, I mean, you need to do something first before we can say what you have done is good. Are you following me? So let it not be as if I'm just trying to badmouth this fellow. Let us pick it one by one. Let's pick the flyover in what do you call this?
Ramat Park.
How many billion is he spending there? Almost 100 billion.
Almost 100 billion, yes.
On the flyover. The question is why?
And to decongest and reduce the traffic there.
So if you look at Edo State, considering how much we earn and all the problems we have as a state, we consider how many bad roads we have that we still need to fix. You think putting 100 billion naira on only one flyover that could have been resolved by reducing the size of the Ramat Park itself? You know, the Ramat Park is very big. The overgrown center of Ramat Park, that is what is causing the traffic there. All you need to do to reduce the traffic, if you're been to Lagos, you're going from Victoria Island to Ajah, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Before, we used to have roundabouts. You used to have a roundabout, Lekki Phase 1, roundabout, the second roundabout, the Chevron roundabout, several. Now, if you go and check, there's no roundabout anymore. They've removed the roundabouts. So now you have a straight roads going straight in, but you have one curve to get you. If you know you are going to make a turn, you keep to your left. So you turn around and go back. So why do you think Lagos State did not do flyovers across all the roundabouts from Lekki 1 to Lekki 2 to Lekki 3 or to Ajah? No. Lekki now has only one. They have only one flyover, which is in Badore from it flies over Badore, XYZ Plaza down into Brown Addison Estate side. And so you get my point. Thomas Estate side. So, you know, they could have built 5 flyovers since what was needed in considering the fact that we have limited resources. The flyover is not necessary. The flyover was just simply done to cut away money for politicians, because money does not come out of the treasury unless there's a project that has been approved. So if you approve a project and put some humongous sum on top of that project, it's easy to pull out money from government. Is that not so? Do we not know the scam? That is the scam of most of most. So if you see some governments embarking on massive structures that cannot be explained, just know that they are looking for opportunity to remove monies from government. So beginning from the flyover, if I were in that government, if it was our government, we would never do that. The best we would do was, okay, since this congestion is too much, reduce the size of the ring, or, you know, and then expand the road into Okpebholo, into Ramat. What's the name of that road beyond Ramat Park? You know, the
Agbo side area.
Finish. That's all you need to do there, and that whole thing will not cost you more than 5 billion naira. 3 to 5 billion naira. So you will solve the same problem with 3 to 4. So why should you spend 100 billion on it? So you expect me to say I admire that project? I can't say that. Or or is it the what do you call it? The transport line, the new Edo line. I can't say that's a good investment. It's a bad investment. As a matter of fact, it's in bad taste and bad faith. You have so many private sector operators in that industry, and now you put a government subsidized a transport line there. What would that do? That would make life difficult for the investors who have pumped their hard-earned money into that business, because you are using government money to run yours, and so your own is not competitive, and so you're making life difficult for the people. The kinds of business that governments should get into are businesses that are difficult for private individuals to do. So the government will put its first leg in and introduce that business to that economic space, and then always with the intention to divest and leave the business for businessmen to do. It's not government's responsibility to carry out to invest in business. Government only clears the path, for businessmen to enter into a system. So I cannot praise the Edo new Edo line. Tell me another thing they've done.
What about the purchase of security vehicles? They have been buying vehicles. They have been.
Is that a project? Buying vehicles. If you are buying a car since morning, how about we do not about it? Is that I can't discuss that as a project. Okay. The next question is, to what intent and purpose has it led to a reduction in crime in Edo? Crime has become so prevalent that now people just don't talk about it anymore.
Yes.
Just want to look for money to pay the ransom. Even for vulcanizers, that they kidnap them now. Harass, So I can't say that. So assuming buying vehicles that you claim to give to security operatives, assuming it's an investment, what has it achieved? Nothing. Insecurity is still rife, and where are the vehicles? Mr. Obaze, where are the vehicles? Who did they give it to? Which security agencies did they give it to? So give me another one. Give me another one. There's nothing. There's nothing. I don't know anything. Or you expect me to praise the government for renovating a couple of schools that Obaseki had already done? I mean, so in my opinion, the Okpebholo government has not started work yet. They use the first 12 months to try to give back to the people who put them in power. I repeat, the first 12 months of Okpebholo's administration has not been about Edo people, because in their estimation, Edo people did not put them in power. So they've spent all Edo people's resources for the last 12 months to further the nest of the big wigs that got them into power. The likes of Wike, the likes of Akpabio, the likes of Oshomole, all those people who flex their muscles to get them. And of course, their number one kingpin, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who put them there. They spent the last 12 months. Everything they're doing now is about Tinubu. It's about 2027. It's what are they saying? It says assured or something.
Now, I don't know if you have seen this video of the branded buses sighted in Edo today.
So that's what I'm talking about.
And a lot of people have complained that it's the Edo line buses that they are now branding for Tinubu 2027 campaign. Look at it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You want me to praise this one as an achievement?
That's Okpebholo. That's Okpebholo branding Edo line buses for Tinubu. And I mentioned it before that these buses they are buying all the name of Edo line, they are going to use it for Tinubu 2027 campaign.
Period. So that is why, with all due respect to you, Mr. Albert Obaze, and without trying to dodge the questions you've asked, I cannot lay my hand on a single thing that this government has done for the benefits of Edo people. Nothing. Nothing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kuso. In 60 seconds, tell us what's going on with the coalition 2027, because Nigerians are eager to kick Tinubu and his gang out of Aso Rock.
Yeah, for me, if I'm speaking as a person now, as a journalist, as a Nigerian, as somebody who's watching the system, I think the ultimate objective of every Nigerian, as we speak, should be to try and get Tinubu out of office. Because I thought that he would try to make a statement, considering the controversial circumstances that led to his ascending office as president. I thought he would, and of course, because he's also from a very well-established tribe in Nigeria that has a lot of human resources, I thought he would try to, sort of make a statement and really, move in such a way that people will have nothing to say against his government. But it's been very unfortunate. Rule of law has been completely killed in Nigeria. So you cannot be, as a matter of fact, the courts are for sale under this administration. The courts are for sale. Any judgment you get out of the court is for sale. Any judgment. So the judiciary has been totally privatized. The legislature is a complete boy to the executive arm of government. Complete, total. There's not even any rational thinking going on in the National Assembly, both Senate and House of Reps. No rational. When I say zero rational thinking, everybody there is just asking for a handout in exchange for the approval of whatever is coming from the executive. And then come to the executive. It's a racketeering zone. A racketeering zone where everybody's just racketeering, trying to get something across to make a few bucks for themselves. I saw a video of a minister commissioning a massive personal house, for himself in the full glare with videos. A minister has just been minister for less than 2 years, and you need to see the sprawling property he was coming. So this government is just, and then what do we see? We see a lot of borrowing from international institutions to shore up our foreign reserves so that we can borrow more, to try to create the semblance of a stable exchange rate, which I saw a cartoon in Business Day newspaper today where it looked as if the president was going to give stock or give food to some masses on Independence Day, and what he was packing into their plate was statistics. The only thing we have to show for the 2.5 or so years that this President Tinubu's government has been is statistics, all kinds of numbers trying to tell us that we are better than we were 2 years ago. Meanwhile, we are the people. We know whether we are better or not, So they tell us all kinds of statistics. Oh, GDP. Oh, all kinds of statistics. That to show us that we are better off, but we know we're not better off. It doesn't matter what statistics you spin. Oh, rebasing of inflation from 30, all kinds of statistics to try to convince us that. And then of course, all my colleagues have been cowed in one way or the other, either by force or by fund. You know what I mean by my colleagues. You see, that's why, honestly, I wanted to go back to newspaper journalism, but I just feel like I don't want to go anymore. To go back anymore to newspaper journalism because I feel really disappointed with what I see every day. You see all kinds of headlines. NPR has been investment. Edo. I look at the headlines. They are all lies. They are all. I look at the headline of This Day, Guardian, Punch, the Business Day. All of them. Yeah. Only inside that you now see the cocoa of the matter, that the country is suffocating. The people are suffocating. So back to the question, I think the objective of every Nigerian should be, how can we end this tirade? How can we end this mass attack on our survival? How can we end this, collapse of our judiciary, collapse of our legislature? How can we end this massive thieving going on at the center in Abuja? How can we end it? That's the first thing we must think about. So it's beyond any particular candidate that thinks is loved or that thinks is popular. That's not the question. And the question now is, you are not popular. Your popularity is not important if it cannot help us remove Tinubu from the center, so that the country can begin to think again, so that the country can the asphyxiation that is happening to us in Nigeria can be loosened, so that we can breathe again. So, which is why I think that the most important thing is taking power back from Tinubu. And anybody who has the political, positioning to help this to happen is the best candidate to fly the flag against Tinubu. And there should not be more than one opposition. It's PDP, ADP, ADC, AMPP, anything LP. They should all collapse their structures together. All Nigerians should collapse their voices together, speak with one voice, and tell this man, Oga, we are dying of suffocation. Oga, the country is in the doldrums. Oga, our democracy is at risk. Oga, our survival is threatened. So please, can you step aside so that we can begin to put our country back on track again? So for me, I don't want to make any declaration. I know the person who I believe has the political positioning to draw this support and confront Tinubu. I know who the person is, but I think it's still early in the day to make those declarations. But this should be the goal of every Nigerian, coming together to ensure that this descent into anarchy is terminated and a new beginning kicks off, and Nigeria is reset, to reckoning, and then Nigeria begins to move in the right direction again before we can be. And now the next person who is going to be able to, if we can seize the country from Tinubu, is not going to start building immediately, because there's a lot of rubbles we have to clear. It will just need to set some things right. For example, we must liberate the judiciary. So they need to be able to function on their own without interference, without fear of evil, without threats, without. Liberate the legislature. Let them start thinking again. Their brains are frozen. Their brains are frozen either by phones or by wahala. So they need to start thinking again. Legislators have to return to the days of Obasanjo, where they confronted him and said, "No, we won't allow you to do third term." Gali Umar na Abba, Senator, what's the name of that Igbo senator? That's that man. Forgotten his name now. Who was Senate president at the time?
Namani.
Yes. We need to go back to those days when you will see genuine political, engagements, rational reasoning and thinking. That's when democracy works, when all the organs are functioning to correct itself. Not when one person has seized every organ and put inside his pocket. If it continues for another 4 years, I can assure you, Nigeria is going to be reduced to the fiefdom that Lagos has become, where one person and his cronies will be responsible for choosing who will lead Nigeria, and they will lead Nigeria into their pockets.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crusoe Osaige, for this wonderful time, as always, with us this evening. We appreciate you. We thank you so much. It's always a great time with you, Mr. Crusoe. Thank you very much for spending this evening with us, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, hope to see you again. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, former Governor Obaseki, will be in Torino, Italy, on the 12th, Sunday 12th. So it's strictly by invitation. If you live in Torino or you live in nearby cities, you can travel down to Torino. Send me a DM. I will give you the location. Obaseki is coming to meet with his supporters. You hear me? On the 25th, His Excellency will be in Edinburgh. Edinburgh. How do they call her? Edinburgh in Scotland. So people can come in from Aberdeen. They can join us from Glasgow in Edinburgh. That's the capital city. That's where the former governor is coming. And by the grace of God, on the 26th, the former governor will be in Ireland, Dublin, to meet with these people. So after doing all these cities, it will come to the turn of UK. For now, we are doing my city, Leeds. Of course, if I don't host my political father for my city, we are on for Costa. We are doing Leeds, we are doing Manchester, we are doing Birmingham, and the grand finale will be London. London will be massive. London will be very massive. Very soon, we're going to be setting up a committee in UK, Manchester, Birmingham, London, and my city, Leeds. Okay, maybe after a part do UK, we feel called Ginger and make it do some Asia countries. Our people there everywhere. Our people there Turkey, they Cyprus, they Malaysia, they India. They are everywhere, and I know anywhere people are ready, and they will gladly receive the former governor. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. If you are watching, check if you are subscribed. If you never subscribe, anytime we post, you'll be the first to get a notification. See you guys. Good night. Bye.